Obviously, they still have three guys, and Lowry, Ibaka, and Miles off the bench. You really have to be careful with the three-point line. Three-point line has given us trouble early in this season. Our defense overall is better, but we have to be a lot more disciplined when we're closing out to those shooters, Chris. But obviously, you have king of the mid-range, DeMar DeRozan. Leads the NBA in free throw attempts per game, and a great mid-range shooter. So just understanding the personnel, who you're guarding, and what the game plan is, and having proper game plan discipline.
The Raptors insiders tell me that their emphasis this season is more on assists, pass the ball more to their bigs. Do you see that when you watch it, and how do you contain it?
Yeah, you definitely see it, and the proof's in the numbers. I think they're maybe 6th or 7th in the league in assists per game. DeMar DeRozan's at 4.5 assists per game. They're trying to be less of an ISO and ball dominant team with Kyle and DeMar, and get other people involved. And I think big picture, that's only going to help them regular season, but more importantly come playoff time when you need other guys to step up. But even though they don't have maybe a great three-point shooting team, they're getting a lot of threes up. Like I said, Kyle, Serge Ibaka, and C.J. Miles off the bench are shooting plenty of them. So, they're moving the ball, and they're playing very, very well.
You've got a nice 6-game homestand coming up. What are your expectations for these 6 games?
I'm worried about Toronto. It's good to be home, obviously. We have to find a way to take care of home court. If we want to be a playoff team, playoff teams win at home. And we have a great challenge tonight, and I think one of the best defensive teams in the NBA with one of the best backcourts in the NBA. So it'll be a heck of a challenge to start these 6 games off.
One little thing, Darrell Arthur got a chance to play the other night. Do you expect to play him more tonight? What do you think of his performance?
You know what? It was 3 games in 4 nights. I thought our starting group didn't have great energy to start the game. I thought the group that was in there, end of the first, beginning of the second, played with great energy. And I know Darrell, if you look at the stat line, maybe didn't overwhelm anybody with his numbers, but I thought his energy, his defense, his contesting shots was contagious. And I know if I have to call on Darrell Arthur, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to try to find ways to get Kenneth Faried into the game. He's a very good player for us. We've been getting hurt on the glass the last couple of games, and I think Kenneth can help us in that area as well.
Coach, on a different track, can you touch on your experience coaching in Canada with the national team? And you've got lots of ties to Toronto that people don't know about, with your dad being the first ever coach of the Raptors and coaching the national team. And there are more players from Canada on NBA rosters than any other country in the world, save the USA. Can you talk about the development of Canadian basketball, too, and what you saw up there when you were coaching?
Yeah, obviously, I had, I think, 4 summers helping Leo Rautins coach the national team. That was an experience that I loved. It really was.
Leo aside, right?
Yeah, Leo aside. But having a chance to get to know all those young players, travel with them, win some big games, help them qualify for the World Championship in Turkey. It was a phenomenal experience. And you talk about the development of the game and all the young talent that is in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, Trey Lyles, 2 Canadians that we have our own roster, and throughout college and the NBA. It speaks to the fact that the game is growing. And a lot of people say all the young players that are in the NBA now were young kids when Vince Carter and those guys were playing for the Raptors, when it kind of took off up there. I think it's kind of special, my father being the first coach in Raptor history, being up there for that first year, and kind of seeing the education of the Raptor fans.
Yeah.
And the story I always tell is that one of the first home games, they handed out the balloons to wave behind the basket during free throws.
Yeah.
But they were waving them as the Raptors were shooting free throws. So I think the game of basketball has come a long way in Toronto, and it's only going to get better.
Thank you, Coach. We're done.